Have you ever imagined your life without the effects of relationships? What would remain? Just you, the real you. But here's the catch. The only thing standing between you and your purest self is the pain caused by your past relationships. Let's uncover how this happens and why breaking free is the key to healing. In the end, it's only you within yourself, and breaking free requires only you. And just before we move on, remember this. You came into this world by yourself in your mother's womb, and the journey out will be the same. It's a symmetrical world we live in. For example, right and left, front and back, past and future, right brain and left brain, right eye and left eye, right hand and left hand, day and night, weak and strong. The list goes on and on. Again, it's a symmetrical world on all levels and in ways you can't even imagine. Now let's move on. You were born in a state of neutral consciousness, untouched by the complexities of human relationships. Back then, your only cries were for hunger or physical discomfort. Beyond that, you were free, existing in either neutrality consciousness level or joy consciousness level, especially when those around you played with you. But then, something changed. Your first emotional wounds appeared. The first heartbreak we experience isn't romantic, it's parental. Our first exposure to pain happens through our parents. This is the root of our emotional hurt, what modern psychology calls childhood trauma, and what spiritual traditions call karma. Studies in attachment theory confirm that our earliest interactions with caregivers shape our emotional resilience and relationship patterns for life. Children who experience unresolved emotional distress without returning to a healthy state of consciousness often develop emotional suppression patterns. Research in developmental psychology shows that early emotional neglect or inconsistency can lead to apathy, avoidance, and even addictive behaviors later in life, from seeking comfort in material things like toys to craving external validation. This is where auto-jungling begins. Auto-jungling, as explained in The Universe is Void, We Are Not, refers to getting stuck in the lower levels of consciousness, unable to return to a balanced state of self. It's the moment a child stops expressing and starts suppressing, but childhood is just the beginning. As we grow, relationships, especially romantic ones, become the new battlefield of consciousness. We seek connection, but what we don't realize is that without healing, we are simply reliving old emotional wounds. Based on The Universe's Void, We Are Not. Our emotions exist at different frequency levels. Higher levels, known as the crown, include neutrality, willingness, acceptance, reason, love, joy, peace, and enlightenment. These elevated states enhance consciousness, fostering inner peace, creativity, and emotional mastery. On the other hand, lower levels, referred to as the auto-jungle, include shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, pride, and courage. These emotions trap individuals in cycles of emotional instability, reactive behaviors, and self-destructive patterns, keeping them locked in past traumas rather than evolving toward higher consciousness. Remember, it's a symmetrical world. For example, past and future, trauma and healing. In other words, the very things that cause the auto-jungle consciousness are mirrored by the things that lead to the crown consciousness. Ultimately, one is either stuck in the auto-jungle levels indefinitely or actively expanding their consciousness. And one last thing before we move on, remember that expanding consciousness can never take place without the triggers of the auto-jungle. When we experience toxic relationships, we are often dragged below our crown levels, making it harder to heal. Studies in relationship psychology reveal that emotional trauma from relationships can weaken immunity, increase stress hormones, and even accelerate aging. This is why people who experience heartbreak often develop physical symptoms. from insomnia to digestive issues. Your emotions are your wealth, and bad relationships bankrupt you. This is why you must identify who auto-jungled you, those who made you feel worse when you were alone. These are the people who locked you into lower states of consciousness, draining your energy and making healing nearly impossible. The problem is, when we're stuck in low consciousness relationships, we don't realize that we are chasing validation, not love. And I have to tell you, many people mistake desire consciousness for love consciousness. We will delve deeper into this process in later episodes. But for now, remember this: love consciousness only means care, and that care is mostly conditional from both sides. That's where the world suffers. It's called unconditional love. But if it's conditional, it makes the crown conditional as well through you. From another perspective, expecting something in return only splits our minds, making us calculate what we've done and what we're supposed to receive. Suddenly, we're out of the realms of life and into the world of the matrix. Remember, the moment you begin to intellectualize life, you are no longer truly living. You're merely calculating, and you could be stuck within yourself forever, to the point where I can only say, wake up, Neo. There is no way out except through you, even if you are right, if it's dragging you below the crown levels. When left unhealed, our traumas dictate our attractions. If you are emotionally wounded, your subconscious mind will seek relationships that mirror your earliest emotional wounds, meaning, if you lacked parental warmth, you may be drawn to emotionally unavailable partners. If you had controlling parents, you may attract dominance or submission-based relationships. The list goes on and on. However, even if the people around you are the right people for you, you won't be able to see it, even if you change your social structure. Both sides of the relationship are facing problems that must be addressed to experience a genuine relationship. Otherwise, you'll always be lost. No matter how happy life gets, there will always be moments of feeling lost. It's a simple life math, meaning the more you experience life through the filters of trauma, the more you'll be lost, even if you are surrounded by millions of people with the same mindset. They will all be lost in their shadows, not knowing where to go. If you want to get deeper into this, then get your copy of the book, The Universe is Void. We are not. Regardless of that, remember that you are either in the lost mindset, which only occurs through the auto-jungle, or enlightened, which refers to your highest consciousness level as a human being, based on our consciousness map. This map is associated with 17 emotions, but trauma will keep you locked in the auto-jungle, which is restricted to 8 emotions, and they are all behind chronic diseases. It's why people hardly manage their weight or maintain strong bodies and biology. To make it clear, if your childhood lacked emotional stability, you may seek partners who fix you, leading to codependency. That process will expand into other relationships like friendships and so on, making you grow weak. And remember, it's a symmetrical world, meaning you're either growing weak or strong emotionally. Studies on trauma bonding confirm that people often mistake familiar pain for love. This is why many relationships feel like a cycle of emotional highs and lows, because they are built on unresolved traumas, not authentic connection. As a result, emotional weakness shatters our hearts. The result? Relationships become a negotiation of emotional needs rather than an experience of mutual expansion. One partner seeks care and power, the other does the same, and when this dynamic collapses, the relationship fails. Infidelity, depression, and emotional exhaustion begin to surface. The good news, there is a way out. You don't need courage to break free from toxic patterns. You need to understand neutrality consciousness, the first level of the crown. It's the initial path to escape your maze and truly live your days. Neutrality consciousness marks the first phase in claiming ownership of your mind. And you can take it even further with forgiveness, not for them, but for you. Science backs this up. Studies from Stanford University's Forgiveness Project show that practicing forgiveness reduces stress hormones, improves immune function, and even slows aging. Ask yourself, why do you allow relationships to steal your youthfulness? It's as if the world around you turns into a realm of vampires. To win, you must first master the art of neutrality reso. In other words, neutrality resonance. This practice will strengthen your crown muscles and make the process of forgiveness much easier. And remember what one of the greatest scientists, Albert Einstein, said: weak people revenge, strong people forgive, and intelligent people ignore. In this context, intelligence refers to neutrality consciousness. Once you reach neutrality reso, which prepares you to forgive more easily, your biology begins to shift. Your blood pressure balances, your nervous system stabilizes, and your body starts to regenerate. Drinking water transforms from an act of mere survival into one of purification. You naturally begin attracting people from the crown levels, relationships built on growth, healing, and shared consciousness. This is the process of learning how to escape the world of vampires and reclaim your crown energy. When you are still operating from trauma-based attraction, you don't look for a partner, you look for a replacement parent. Men and women unconsciously seek relationships to compensate for their emotional wounds rather than to evolve together. But when you heal, everything changes, especially attraction. You stop seeking comfort and start seeking conscious expansion. True relationships thrive when both individuals rise into the crown levels. And the same applies to genuine, unique friendships. They flourish through mutual growth and elevated consciousness. Nevertheless, if you're single or in a difficult relationship and find yourself unable to feel attraction towards someone, or if others seem not to be attracted to you or your partner, understand this. You may need to heal your traumas. Attraction is an energy exchange, and unhealed emotional wounds can block that flow. When you heal, your energy shifts. You naturally begin to attract the right partner and perhaps even friends, someone aligned with your highest consciousness, not your unresolved pain. Mastering relationships means mastering the trauma healing process. When you achieve that, you don't just improve your relationships, you become a relationship attractor. This is where the book, The Universe is Void, We Are Not, comes in as well. Unlike traditional self-help books, it doesn't just offer advice, it maps out the consciousness shifts necessary for healing and self-coaching, which are essential in the new world. It teaches you how to handle problems as part of your destiny. It's not the problems themselves that destroy our health, it's our attitude toward them. And remember, this attitude comes with speed. It's psychological. Through the crown, things are slower in your head, allowing you to process and act with clarity, but faster in terms of manifestation as your energy aligns effortlessly with your intentions. This is why healing is non-negotiable. Without healing, relationships will feel like a never-ending negotiation of unmet needs. With healing, relationships become a gateway to higher consciousness. Your past relationships don't define you, your consciousness does. Elevate it. Take a look at the preview version of The Universe is Void, We Are Not on nunkyarts.com, and explore our free magazine. The magazine serves as a bridge to the work we are doing here, offering a clear picture of where the world is heading. Enjoy the journey, and I'll see you in the next episode. Subscribe and join our relationship coaching playlist on our YouTube channel, Deep Dives into the Healing Process. Visit the second page on our website to understand why we created this revolution. Explore the Breathing Academy on the third page of our website and begin your preparation phase for the trauma healing process. Check out our news playlist to stay informed about where humanity is heading and protect yourself from the auto jungle. Go to our podcast playlist and learn how to protect your mental and biological health from the auto jungle in the world. It won't take more than an hour. It's a big life investment between your hands. If you want to support this project, please share what I do with the people you care about.